No, I'm going to get coffee.
Yay. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, and then I got a rental to finish today.
I saw I saw you sent me video messages, but I've literally been filming for 5 days straight. It's been like 15, 16-hour days, so I've not had a chance to look at I haven't even sent out proper reminders about this class today. So
Yeah, I noticed. I was like, oh, Mike's taking a week off. He's taking
I've
a
been
week off. He's kind of he's not being consistent this week, huh? Something must be
exactly.
up.
We that's correct. That's correct.
I'm just calling you out. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna call myself out anyway, so but it's all part of the plan because I want to show the real life schedule of content creators and business owners, and
Well,
you
I
can you can just
realized.
you can be consistent for long periods of time, and then stuff happens, and you're like, wow,
Yeah, I know.
you
And it
know,
takes maybe a week or two of not being consistent to totally throw everything off.
exactly, exactly. I had a great post for on Sunday. I was in Manhattan Sunday because I was at a business networking event with one of my co-authors, right? So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be in Jersey. I'll jump on the train. I'll go to New York, and
Oh, you're in New York? I got a perfect guy you could stay at.
well, I'm like an hour away, and I'm probably gonna be in this area for a couple of weeks because I gotta fly out to Dubai and come back. But I was like, I'll go.
Oh.
I knew I was gonna get flagged, but I'm like, I want to do this. I took a screenshot. I've got some source material, but I did a lot. I'm like, I'm gonna go live from this rooftop patio in Manhattan just to show you that you need to be consistent, but instantly YouTube will flag you with a copyright violation. So I'm just live on I probably it was like a minute or two. I did a really short one because it's super loud. They were blasting the beats in the background, right? But I'm like, I'm gonna do a live because I'm already monetized. I don't care if I get a copyright strike because I'm already monetized, but I'm just going to show you that to be consistent, record content everywhere as you go, but you have to just realize that if there's any background music, um, Facebook will demonetize anything with music in the background. YouTube will give you instant.
Oh yeah, I've gotten a few of those.
So I want you all to be inspired to record content and not worry about if there's background music, but it's gonna get flagged. I was because I was deep in conversation with somebody I've been inviting to this group for a while, but he wasn't sure if he'd fit in. And I'm like, you know what? It's all ages, it's all skill levels because you're not going to become awesome overnight. It's going to take years of consistency. That's why we're teaching you to write get your story, get all your story ideas, all your video ideas, get all the creative juices flowing, write everything down, document it all, then start planning it out in your mind, whether that's script writing or scene layout or the camera tripods, like plan it all out before you start recording. And then once you're comfortable with like it's just like step by step by step because a lot of people will find that they're super inconsistent. Like my week this week, I knew I was going to be in New Jersey filming 14-hour days, 5 days, 14 hours straight, 5 days, not including driving. Like it's Wednesday and Thursday was two different sets. So you're dealing with the Jersey traffic and you're just like, this is crazy,
Yeah,
you know.
I was just
And
gonna say that traffic isn't fun.
then like we're startup, right? Like our entertainment company in New Jersey, we've been filming every July for 3 years, but we're going through different camera guys, different sound engineers. This year like was special because we had enough people with um experience selling to HBO and Paramount and Netflix and all. Like our director of photography this year, he sells stuff to Netflix every week. He goes out and films, he travels the world, he films, he takes all the cat. we rented cameras from him, and he showed us his art of making stuff for Paramount, HBO, and Netflix, right? So we're like, but in a professional setup, or in a when you've got when you got lots of money, you're shuttling your actors from set to set to sets. You're feeding them all professionally with craft services. Like there's all this professional stuff going on. But when you don't have that cash, when you don't have that funding, you're doing it all yourself, which means I am unpacking the storage locker, setting up all the tripods, setting up all the chairs. We're like setting all the scenes, doing everything ourselves, right? So it's like I've done this 3 years in a row, and it doesn't get any easier, but it's so much fun because you learn from all the other actors. Like I was, we're this year we had actual scripts rather than just ad-libbing. So we've been practicing those scripts for like since February, March, and now it's July, and I'm like, I know all my lines until the camera's on me and it's like out the window. Let's see who we've got here this morning. Okay. Good morning, Jeanette. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you two ladies doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Trying to figure out how to take the mute off. I'm
Yeah,
good. It's
no,
nice
that's
to
so
see you guys.
nice to see you both. So how's your week been?
I didn't film anything this week. I've been really achy. Calgary's been so cold and so wet. It's not been fun. I was
And it's
looking
so
forward to some hot and sun.
and it's so hot here. Yesterday, I don't think today's as bad, but yesterday's like 111 Fahrenheit, like 43 Celsius. So it's oh, and that's a great thing. So one set has an issue with the air conditioner, so we were hot all week, and I was there Monday through Friday, and then the other set was banquet hall, and it's freezing in that place because it's a banquet hall and they've got working air conditioning. So the extremes, pushing your mental limit to uh, complete exhaustion because you're either freezing or boiling. So while trying to not waste everybody's time and remember your lines and get everything on par, comedic, timing proper. We have a cast of like 12, 15 people that we're managing, so fun. So I didn't make any progress of sending out reminders because I'm literally doing that right now. Plus, we're staying with our friends, so they're entertaining. So we're like, okay, we got to get, whatever work needs to be done this week needs to be accomplished. And I'm complete, driving too much, which I don't normally drive in the middle of the day between, places that, hauling a trailer from place to place is much different than driving around in New Jersey traffic. So, okay, I'm just gonna about 9:08 here. I'm just sending out more reminders because I met probably like 20 people in Manhattan on Sunday that want to show up to the class, and I don't actually think I've sent them personal reminders yet. So bear with me while I do that. And so my wife had a unique role in production because she was a background actor, but then she actually held up the boom mic and she was able to witness the content, the direction from the director of photography and the camera guys and the sound guys. So maybe Julie wants to just bring up her experience with that because she had no training for it. So we just threw her to the wolves, and she seemed to thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, it's good. It was a workout getting that the boom, right? That's what I was holding was
The
the boom.
boom, one of the three boom microphones we were using.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's It was good for my yogic breath because whenever you're like hurting or you want to keep it straight, just breathe. And then you get to listen to them do the same scene so many times, you know how long you're gonna have to hold it before the scene is done. So that's kind of nice. But it was interesting as a perspective of being more like the background in like more on the equipment side and seeing the things because I could definitely see how much better the quality was for what we recorded compared to other years. So that was really interesting and being able to see like how it looked on a professional camera and then of course seeing how they'd set up all of the cameras where everybody else is sitting for the scene, I get to kind of see the backgrounds. That was really interesting.
No, and that was a good point because I know in the past 2 years of filming, even though like they were different because we did like big gala events, like big parties, because we wanted to show like have celebrities come in and film it. Like we really did like a mock awards show and red carpet and VIP parties and stuff like that because we're building up. We're a startup entertainment company in Jersey, and we're building up momentum because we're looking for investors. We're looking for content creators. The reason I started this Saturday morning class is because I've had so much training, and I know that anyone new coming into the entertainment company who wants to start being an actor or actress and who wants to start being in front of the camera, it takes them many, many years to get comfortable in that position. And we want to kind of we want to shortcut it properly. And this is why we're just breaking down all the stuff I've been taught by my mentors in Hollywood and the entertainment company, because who I have access to has access to higher ups, right? And they're like, you got, we're just breaking down the concepts in this Saturday morning class because I don't want it to be overwhelming. I want to inspire and empower all of you and not have you get exhausted trying to catch up, right? It's like break it down into little bite-sized pieces, and then I thoroughly enjoyed the whole ride, but I've been also talking to these people for like 5 years, right? So it's like every single week, acting classes, script writing. That's why I keep saying write down all your ideas and work on those scripts because we wouldn't have been able to do what we did the last 5 days if we didn't have a script. And we have 3 or 4 people writing that script, but 2 of them have been writing songs and scripts for decades. And then you throw it in front of, some experienced actors and some green, completely green actors, and you're like, okay. And then the camera guys are like, hey, you guys did pretty good today, because guess what? Sometimes you spend 2 days filming one page because the director knows what they're going after, the director of photography, all the camera people know what type of scene they want, and they're going to film it 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 times because each time you film it is different. Makeup looks different on your face, the lights look different, the sound looks different, there might be background noises. We had some hilarious moments. We know each of our characters in our production has a unique flair and voice inflections. Or just I'm kind of goofy with my facial expressions, like, especially when I'm talking to the ladies. So my friend Vi is like, she's like, you're so she's like, I love looking at you and I love looking at you when I'm running my lines because you make me crack up. And I'm like, perfect. We want laughter. We want hilarious delivery because that is how we're going to get viewers. Because if it's a dry sitcom and we're not laughing and, you know, getting along, then nobody's going to want to watch that stuff. But when there's hilarious outtakes, chairs breaking, and just there's we involved a couple animals. It's freaking hilarious. Like it's just like hilarious stuff, right? And of course, some of our actors are comedians, and they can do the same scene 100 times, and their output is going to be different every single time. But if there's too hilarious, then they're throwing everybody else off. So sometimes they got to tone it down, and it's just crazy. So. We got 6. Okay, including my note taker. Okay, there we go. So last week we went over vidIQ, right, Julie? Okay. So did you want to? I know we We got an email from, okay, Edward's emailing me. I sent him, just give me a second here. I didn't send out the email blast, so Edward's asking if we're having class today. Yet I already messaged him on Facebook. So.
Some people don't use Facebook first thing in the morning, Mike. I know that
No, no,
personally.
no. This is why when I enter stuff into my CRM, I know that I need to enter in your preferred communication medium, whether that is a phone call or text or SMS or email or Instagram or whatever it is. So yeah, okay. Let me just see because he didn't see my message then. Did you want to just review what we talked about? Review what we talked about last week, Julie, and then we'll show them that I don't want to play the video if we get a couple people coming in by 9:30. So
Okay, well, we can show the video after. Um, well, I guess the point with the review, like, I can speak English. It's a good day. The point with
we're
the
both
vidIQ,
awake right now, so we
yeah,
apologize for that. We were chatting with our fellow actors about 2 a.m. and it's 9 right now, so we're running off. No, we're running off fumes.
no, that was every day during shooting because you realize how when they have a shooting day of 12 hours, how that gives you like no extra time because really you're running home, you're going to sleep, you're back up, you're shooting again, right? And so it is a very difficult schedule. However, when you actually get paid for it, I think it's a little more motivating than when you're doing it to build your
When you're getting paid for
portfolio.
it, exactly.
When you're not getting paid to do it, it's a little bit different than when somebody, when you're just sitting there. But okay, so the vidIQ, what we did last week was really go over the benefits of having that AI tool and just promoting that, you can make it a little bit easier when you're putting in your names, your descriptions, and of course you can use any type of AI you want. It's just a tool to make it a little bit easier and more efficient to put a lot of those little details in, like get the catchy name, get a description, find tags that are related to the content that you're making. So I guess that's really the point of what the vidIQ is it's a tool, right? And of course you can use any tools you want. It's one we've been using and I like it because it is synced with the YouTube. So that was really, I guess, the whole point of doing it. And I know you said, Jeanette, that you haven't done anything new yet this week and posted that. Have you played around with any type of AI when you were making up your names and stuff like that? Because I know you had kind of asked about like what should I call certain things, and I was recommending using chat. Have you been working with that a little bit?
Well, I've been working with Chat GPT, but yeah, I haven't used vidIQ or anything like that. I did try to upload one video and then I got a copyright strike because the band was playing and my mom was singing and I'm going like, oh my God, you guys can understand what my mother was singing?
I wouldn't worry too much about it if you do get those copyright right now because you're not monetized. So I wouldn't worry as much about it. And it's a good lesson that if there is other music, even if it is somebody, just singing or whatever, it can definitely be it targeted as copyright content. What was it? There was another song that I recently
Was
realized that I didn't realize was copyright, like the Happy Birthday song. There was another one somebody was saying. And so,
that was what we were going over all week
yeah.
because in our script there is mentions of certain characters like Batman and Robin, and then like there's joke, it's jokes, right? But there was like the whole script is jokes, but um, there's a couple like not the Happy Birthday song, but except we did have two birthdays on set this week. But we know the Happy Birthday song is copyrighted. There's it's supposed to be a Christmas song in there. We looked that up. That's not public domain, so that's copyrighted. However, Batman and Robin references are public domain now. So the script is written. We've rehearsed the script with copyrighted stuff in it, and then we're changing it last minute because we've got professional director of photography and camera people, they're like, we can't use this, so we have to rewrite this. And I know that happens in professional settings all the time. Um, just because my wife and I have experience being on set, watching shows be filmed, and we know that we sat in a studio audience for 8 hours watching a comedy in like 2006 being filmed, and we were like, okay, this is how. So we had a taste of what we just did this week. We had a taste of it without real like 20 years ago. So we don't want to, you don't want to be discouraged. We just want you to be aware that if there is anything going on, even if people are just singing, like I don't know if what's going to get flagged, right? So that's
It
why when
got
I do
flagged
live,
before I even posted it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it
oh
was
yeah, yeah.
like I hadn't even put it up yet, and it caught. I think I
Well,
was on two
because
or
YouTube,
three.
yeah. So that's why we were showing you the examples of it. This is, when you go best practice is typically to record it, upload it, because when you're uploading it, it's processing it. It's going to tell you now. It's YouTube is super quick. It's going to tell you if it's a there's copyright infringement, or it's a flag. It's not a strike. So
Yeah,
you can use it. They're just telling you that they're not going to count any of the views as your watch time towards monetization, right? So that's how YouTube puts it. Whereas if you put it on Facebook, they'll let you upload anything to Facebook, but then again, they'll come back later. They're not as quick, but they'll come back later saying, "Hey, we've detected live music or a band or whatever. We'll let you keep this up, but you're not going to get any if you're monetized Facebook, or you're not going to get any monetization from it," which is fine. At the end of the day, you want people to see your content. So you need to practice making it until you figure out how you're going to be regularly making it without getting a copyright strike, right? So,
Well, and as
oh,
I
I
mentioned,
see.
sorry, and
I see we got some more people this morning. So,
as I mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, where I've gotten because YouTube wants you to use the content and music, right? So when I do the shorts, they'll be trending music and it'll be recommended. But as I mentioned, like it'll be fine for months. And then whoever made that song will be like, no, I don't want to share it anymore, or take down the original video with that song. And then you're getting notifications that your short has been muted and it's no longer monetized, and you can still take the original content, re-upload it with some different music or different background, but where it like legitimately YouTube takes it down, and that can be, like I said, it can be months later for the shorts, which I find very, very interesting, where with my longs, YouTube won't even, like, if you wanted to do a blog and publish it and have it go live immediately, it's not going to happen. It's legitimately, you're going to put that up and it'll take a few minutes for it to finish checking the content before it'll let it go live. So normally best practice is to set it up to go and be posted in a couple hours, and then you will know if there is any of those content concerns. But again, as you're building up to get more views and subs, I wouldn't really worry about that so much now. If you're getting a view or a video and it's getting lots of views, but you've already been notified that you're not going to get it's copywritten, right? So you're not going to get, in the end, you're not going, if it keeps getting watched, you're not going to get money off of it. If you are monetized, you may want to upload it with uh different audio, right? Especially if it is a very popular video, because you'd want that to count. If it's something else that you've, got a little bit of views, you get occasional it may not be that important to really change it, if you are aware. But it's something that you also learn as you go through it. Like for myself, I choose to minimize those issues. So it's like just being aware of the music that's in the background, if there's a TV playing or whatever, and just minimizing that those things would be there. With the shorts, though, I don't really have a good solution unless you're going to be using in your shorts your all original content with your own audio, right? So you're not using any of the clickbaity songs or anything that's trending, then you're not going to have any issue. However, if you are using something trending at any point, they could come back and just be like, we're taking it down and it's being muted. And then you can still take it and reload it with something different, right?
so
That's no real problem.
just to be aware that you can upload whatever with copyrighted music, but we want to build the audience, right? The goal is to be consistent with creating content and building up that audience. So be aware that, hey, I didn't think there was going to be a problem. There's a problem. Just roll with it. Be like, okay, we'll solve that issue soon. But, learn how to play an instrument.
I did load one thing up and it was longer than a minute, and it said if it was less than a minute, they would accept it. Like,
Okay. Well, see, hey, perfect. So, new instruction from YouTube. So,
That does make sense because YouTube will let you do a short from anywhere from a few seconds to now up to 3 minutes. But if you get past the minute mark, they won't let you add the music, right? So if you wanted to use a trending sound, if it's past a minute, you can't put any sounds on it unless you're using your own original sound. So that would make sense. So obviously they're more promoting little clips because they also want to promote the music for these artists as well, which is one of the perks for the artists to share the music is to get their music heard more, right? Because we're in a different time where people aren't necessarily listening to the radio, aren't listening. MTV doesn't really exist, not like it used to, right? With the music videos and stuff like that. So now there's a whole new way that people that make music want to get heard, right? So it does benefit them to share clips of their music so they can get all over the place, which for me, I'm like, if I was a content making music like that, I would want that. So then people would be sharing my music, right? But yes, what you noticed, Jeanette, is exactly what I've noticed as well. So when it gets past the minute, you can't use those sound clips unless you're using your own actual music.
mhm.
we've had Edward and Morris join us this morning. So good morning, guys. Are you able to, Morris, you're brand new, but we know you. Are you able to introduce yourself to the class? Might be busy.
Sorry. Good
No
morning.
worries.
Yes. Hey, how are you? Sorry, I'm calling from the hospital, so I'm a little tired, but I wanted to check in. I'm Morris Mayer. I am a custom drapery and upholstery workroom owner, as well as a couple of other small businesses, Plaza Park Cleaning Services, as well as the White Room, which is our furniture showroom, also in an event space where we host workshops and events and live music and things like that. I'm also a Lutheran pastor at Village Lutheran Church in Bronxville, New York, which I do in my spare time. Happy
Well,
to be here.
welcome. Well, welcome, Morris.
Thank you.
I'm still in the area for a while, so I've got your invite to come to the White Room. So
Perfect.
I had to get through these 5 days of filming in Jersey and to figure no, I could, and we'll be in New York today because my niece is dancing in Times Square at 8 p.m. tonight. So
Oh,
um,
very nice.
we're in the area, so we'll connect. I got to just get over my exhaustion from this week.
Perfect. Hope to be released today, so hope to be back in the office on Monday.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, welcome, and
Thank you.
maybe just uh, have you been making any? I know we've met because I know you through David, and then of course we met you in person in
Hi.
Nashville. Stephanie, you probably know Morris, or met him anyway in Nashville in March. So, what, Morris? Have you? I know you're busy because you got a ton of different things going on. Have you? We've chatted a little bit about YouTube and making content. So, have you come up with any ideas or strategies or any way to integrate it into your current busy schedule?
Yeah, I've started probably about a couple of weeks ago. I had some back surgery, and while I was
Oh,
doing my recovery, I created my blog, which I've been
okay.
meaning to do. So I started the blog, and through some of my I'm in an AI mastermind that I take, and I've been doing some industry authority stuff with creating some social posts, and I have the content for the video, but I haven't been able to post it. But I do have like scripts written,
Oh, cool.
and I have
Yeah.
things ready to release, and it's going to be cool. Dave is helping me with a podcast to be called "Don't Crush the Velvet." So I'm starting it with a blog. It'll be a podcast, and it'll be a series of, all lead back to the YouTube video in
Cool.
which I'll, do shorts. So I do have it. I just haven't done the mechanics of it. I've been trying to do it myself, but I don't think I'm going to be able to pull that off, and which I'm now opening myself up more to either delegating or hiring out the people to actually do that type of work. So this way I can,
Okay.
do what I do. But I do want to connect with you and to remember our conversations and
Yeah,
meeting
yeah,
you in
yeah, yeah.
Nashville.
I wanted to be before I go off to Dubai on like by the 5th of August. I wanted to come hang out at the White Room so we can have a chat because I was like,
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
I just haven't made it. I get as far as Manhattan, and then I get like, there's so much to do over there, and I'm like, I told David, I'm like, somebody's got to invite me somewhere else in the city, and then I'll travel a bit further, right? So.
Yeah, we're only about 40 minutes, half hour, 40
Yeah, well, I
minutes. We're
know.
not far.
It's just when you don't have that official invite. It's like when I was hanging out with Stephanie and Jeremy. I'm like, Jeremy, send me your address. We'll come hang out. But if I don't know where you are, I don't know what your
Exactly.
schedule is. I'll show up. I just want to make sure you're there. So
All right, we'll send you an invite with dates that were there.
perfect. And I'll let you know once I got my flight booked. So, but thank you
Thank
again
you.
for showing up because
Yep.
I know
I'll say a
I
quick
know.
hello.
Oh wow, you're actually in the in the hospital. Okay, on
In
the
the
bed.
hospital. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I went to the ER on Wednesday, so I'm hoping to get discharged today. So let's see. I just want to say a quick hi, and I've been meaning to get on these calls, so this gave me God's divine intervention gave me this opportunity here now.
Well, there you go. Everybody meets for a
Thank you.
reason. We've been chatting about this all week while filming because we have a new person in our group of actors, and it's somebody I met from an invite I had to go to Chicago. So I was meant to go to Chicago to meet this person so she could have fun with us all week filming in Jersey, right? So it's just kind of funny how God plans that out for you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, hope you heal fast. That's
And
exactly what you need. You got a lot of stuff on the go. So I wish
thank
you
you. Yeah.
speedy
A
recovery.
aging sucks.
Bayona, yes. Our crew is our cast. Our crew is kind of relatively middle aged, but some of our crew is up there in age. So I'm like they did pretty well for how long the days were and how hot it was. So, um, good morning, Jeff. How are you doing? And
Good
Edward,
morning.
good
Doing good.
morning.
Just
So
got on
I
YouTube.
So you are how's your content creation coming over the last couple of months?
Um, couple months good, couple weeks bad.
Okay.
Um, well, you might know my dad passed. Um, so
Well,
it's
I'm
been
sorry to hear about that.
he's been sick for a long time. So part of it's almost like a relief. He's was kind of trapped in his body at this point. Um, and it's still there. So it's not like, it's made things kind of difficult. Um, yeah, just there. My mom passed in December. He passed in July. Um, so just dealing with the family and the fallout, not fallout because it hasn't been bad. It's just there's things, It's still there. So
Okay. Well, our condolences again. And if you need to chat, we're here to help you with that because things get, life happens and we know certain people, what happens when we age, unfortunately. So we're all, that's why Jeanette's documenting her mom, right? Because there's personality there, and we want to record all the laughter and the smiles and all that, and document the journey. Really, the whole reason for this class is documenting your day to day life journey, right? Because everyone, this is why we're documenting what we're doing because not everybody gets a chance to shoot a sitcom, and we've been working on this for 3 years, right? And it's consistency, consistency, consistency. But people have come in and left. People come in and they leave, and I don't want them to leave, but sometimes it's just what happens, right? People will show up for one particular thing, then they leave, and we're like, okay, this sucks. This really sucks because they were so great in this group, but they decided to not stay with us anymore, and we're like, okay, right? So You got to mourn a little bit and then move on to the next actor and the next relationship and inspiring somebody new the next day, right? So
I think you also point on a topic like with Jeanette where it's like it's keeping some of this information that is getting lost because one of the like who we're staying with, his wife is a really good cook, and I've been really working with her like really trying to promote her to start recording it and not worrying about what level it is, but recording how she makes food. She's Puerto Rican, how she does certain things and certain flavorings, because this is knowledge that isn't necessarily being passed down. And I said, like, this is a service that you can do for your children, your grandchildren, because she's got grandchildren, and then for other people and the world. Like, you call yourself grandma or mama for everybody. This stuff needs to be passed on, right? So this is where we have to start thinking not as much about, okay, who cares if it goes viral or not? Thinking of it as more of a video history book kind of thing, right? So we're sharing this history and this content, which will exist as long as we have technology. Again, it could be very long, it could be very short. Who knows what happens with that? Because that's outside of that. But the reality is that it's sharing these experiences, right? So even with yourself, Morris, this is a good opportunity to start like, even if you don't take a lot of videos, just start kind of like recording and having this to share with other people that go through similar situations or end up having family members or somebody who goes through a situation or like wants to learn about cooking or struggles with family members that start to decline or
I,
whatever
I
it is.
I told Morris if he put up a live feed I'd watch upholstery making all day because I'm that type of nerd. Because I know
It's
there's a
very
science.
relaxing watching
Oh
people,
yeah, and,
nicely
and I
upholstered.
know there's a science behind it, and there's a master plan up here behind it because every like it's like Kelvin and retrofitting or like making the camper vans. I'd watch that all day,
I
even if
was
the even if the commentary is not funny, I'd watch it all day.
I was telling David because he wanted to help with the videoing and he's wants to sail, but his wife's got Alzheimer's. So he feels that dream's gone. So I said, what you should do is stick a camera on your sailboat and get part of the sailboat and the ocean and just film hours of it and then put it on YouTube. I said, I actually would watch that or listen to it because I want to hear the water and the nature
Exactly,
sounds
exactly,
because I
exactly, and
listen to
that's
those channels.
It's like
exactly.
the fire logs at Christmas, right? You get the fire log channel up, the nice relaxing atmosphere.
The funny thing you bring that up is one of the um mentors, one of the founding members of our entertainment company here in Jersey, um, is Carl Sabatino, and he is a radio personality. So he's up there in age. I love when I'm on a Zoom call with him because he's got all this experience because he set up the Oprah Winfrey Show and he set up Ellen and he's established all of these shows because he's a producer from New York. And but of course, his experience is radio days, so no visuals, just on the air, just on sound for decades. And what did he come up with? The Holiday Yule Log program. So I don't know if he was recording with a camera at all the fire, but the sound of that fire is what he would put on. I think he invented it during the holiday season here in the US. Because he's like, Pete, that got the listeners tuning in because they love to hear the crackle of the logs. And then a soft-spoken gentleman reading you a story. That's what Carl invented. So it's kind of just interesting how, people just want experiences, right? Because they want to be, you know, read to or shown how to learn a new skill or learn a new hobby or just be at peace listening, watching a boat flow through an ocean and just listening to the ocean sounds because they don't have that ability to do it to get there, right? So they're living vicariously through you.
I think it also points out that it doesn't have to be a very complex
No,
thing. Like sometimes the simplest things will get the most attention.
exactly. We got a video we want to play, but I know Edward's in here, and I just want to say hi to Edward and ask him how his martial arts is going.
Good morning, guys.
Good
How's
morning. How
everyone
are you
doing?
doing, buddy?
Doing well. Well, I'm here at the tournament and they're doing the grand thing. That's why you saw me moving. So it's quieter here before they'll use my service to help judge the competition and all that. So I figured I'll jump on and get some knowledge from you guys, and get to connect with you guys as well before I get back into the turmoil.
Just gotta get, I know with you, it'd be your martial art, demonstrating martial arts and all your experience. It's really, setting up a tripod, setting up a camera, and just recording it. And I was having this conversation with somebody else this week. They're like, I've got all this stuff I want to do, and it's like, write down all the ideas, write down the poses, and just do the one or two or three, however long it takes you to slowly demonstrate something. Just hit record and just start recording all that content. Because once you have a bunch of it recorded, then you can upload it in batch and just schedule it to like one week to be released or whatever schedule you want it to be. And but I'm like, just get it recorded and throw it up there, and then let everybody know on social media that it's available, and then we just start inviting people to view the content, and then that's how you build your audience, right? So if you got students who want to rewatch you're either gonna have to do it on Zoom and record that. You can teach a class like this on Zoom, record it and upload it to YouTube, because that's what we're doing with these recordings when we're finished with
Ah,
anybody coming in, because I know this is why we're going to do it weekly for the rest of our lives, is just every class is going to be different. There's going to be different students coming and going, right? Because we've got almost 100 people in that group. I've been talking to a ton. I've been networking like crazy, but I know I have to reconnect with everybody one on one and figure out what their objection is or their excuse for not showing up on a Saturday is, and resolve that for them in a conversation, and then get them, okay, here's some recordings. Where are you on your journey? And get them eased into it, right? It's a new skill. You got to be eased into it and be, supported.
I want to thank
Yes.
you guys for that inspiration because the video I sent you guys spawned all these ideas, and I don't know why I was making it such a mountain out of a molehill. Because once I recorded that and I sent it to you guys, it's funny you said that the Zoom classes I have done, I started recording those, and it's just like all these ideas. It's not as hard as I thought it was. So thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. I know, like, there's so much stuff I've been taught in this journey, and I'm like, the people I'm dealing with are like, well, we just need more content creators. I'm like, but we need to train them on the basics, right? We need the basics, because our 3 years of filming for our entertainment company, and like as I said, we've had different like for Morris, I know he's got access to a bunch of interns, so maybe slap a camera on one of those interns and have them follow you around and just start recording stuff, and then see how that feels, if there's a flow to it or not, because we want to make it natural, and you want to empower somebody else to come up with creative ideas, because if you're a busy guy, give an intern a camera and just start recording stuff and just see how well it comes out, would be my suggestion. But with recording for the entertainment company, I mean, we've gone through all these different camera guys, and I've asked them each of their experience, whether they've got like school experience, or if it's been or if they've learned through the school of hard knocks. And most of them have gone to film school, but they didn't finish film school. They just put themselves out there. They're like, I'm going to record every single event, wedding, soccer match, whatever. I'm going to buy a bunch of cameras, and I'm just going to learn how to do it myself at my pace, and just seeing them work together, because they're bouncing ideas off of each other. And I'm like, wow, if we didn't have this mix, we wouldn't have had the result we did after these 5 days. But that's networking with camera and sound guys for 3, 4 years, trying to find the right mix, who are close to Jersey, right? Because if they're in Jersey, they can drive to you, and you don't have to pay for their plane ticket, right? So it's trying to find who's in your area that you can team up with and leverage. and build a new relationship with, right? So you can make some cool stuff. But it's 9:45.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
Julie.
do the video, but I wanted to
Yeah.
make one more comment toward with Edward. Like that is the point. The point is we want to get people to get over the mole hills, right? Like they're not really mountains. As soon as you get over those, whatever your hurdles are, and at least start putting out content, you're making steps. And you can always refine it and make it better. But if you're not making anything, you can't fix it, right? And you can't go forward and you can't refine it and you can't put out more ideas if you're not even putting out the ideas you initially had, right? And if you like, I look back at some of the content I made when I first started my YouTube channel versus now, and how it has changed and how it completely has evolved over time. And it really, the biggest hurdle, and this is what I know when we're having conversations, is we give ourselves the biggest hurdles. We create our biggest hurdles of all these reasons we can't do it. You know, it's the same thing. We can give ourselves as many reasons to be successful as we can to not be successful. And it's very much that idea that if we believe it's impossible, it will be impossible. If we believe it's possible, it will be possible, because it really does come down to what we decide to believe, right? So I'm glad you're getting that, because that's what our point is to help kind of get over those struggles that we internally have. So you start putting yourself out there, right? And you have to keep it in mind too that even if you do get hate, as I've mentioned before, that's actually good. The more interaction you get with your content, the better. So you got to kind of think of it as there's no bad publicity, right? So whether you get hate or love, as long as people are interacting and seeing it, you're making some impact, right? Um, is there anything else, Mike, or shall I go to the video?
The hate. I just want to bring that up because even in person, because of course our content, I just usually I'm filming it myself or me interviewing somebody. But these past 5 days, I'm interacting with people that have only been, I might see them more than once a year, but usually I'm seeing them weekly on Zoom. So the dynamic on Zoom is different than the dynamic in person. And I got a lot of comments on how I pronounced words because I'm Canadian. I don't think I have an accent, but it's how I say certain words. And I'm filming with people from Chicago, New York, Jersey, Florida. And they're like, "Why do you say this word that way?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's my accent." They're like, "You can't say this word this way." They didn't like how I pronounce Manhattan or gluten, the T's, right? And I'm like, are you making fun of me? I don't know what I'm like sitting there with people staring at me. They're like, can you not say this word this way? And I'm like instantly red. I feel sad because it's like, is there a problem with how I say the word Manhattan or gluten? Like, really? I don't, you're picking on me because of the way I say a word. Right? And it's like, oh no, 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 it's just fun, but can you say it differently? I'm like, I don't know if I can say these words differently because now I'm self-conscious sitting here because I'm supposed to be delivering my lines with like a dry, deadpan humor, and now you're picking on the way I'm saying words in front of the camera guys, in front of the director, and they're just like, say it differently. And I'm like, I don't know if I can. So I'm like, how am I supposed to take this feedback, right?
Tell them,
Haters
tell
in
them
the
to,
same room.
tell them to, tell them to say water differently.
Yeah, right? Because
Or roof. Come on, isn't it roof or roof, right?
Right.
We had started getting into these technicalities. Maybe you were supposed to skip over the T's, Mike.
yeah.
It's
Well,
not to everybody. I mean, listen to us, for example. I get picked on like crazy. We have that Southern accent,
I
and
love it, I love it. I love your Southern accent, right? I
it
love
got so
everybody's accent.
far. We were just in New York a couple weeks ago, and I tried to get some sweet tea. They were like, "What is sweet tea?" Like, it's just,
I get that.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
love sweet tea. But I'm too
Um,
north for sweet tea now.
and somebody asked my son, he wanted some grits. I said, "What is a grit?" So, you know.
I
I
know
guess
what those
New
are.
York, you might as well be kind of, you're like right on the border of Canada, because that's exactly like in Canada, we don't have grits, we don't have sweet tea. So they're kind of the same way where they're like, what is this? What are you asking for?
Well,
But,
it's
but
funny. Like
here,
they say sweet tea, like it's all one word. They say, "What is sweet tea?" Like it's they blend it all together. And so sweet tea is like, "What is sweet tea?"
In New York, McDonald's is the only one that knows what sweet tea is.
Oh yeah. Okay. I try to stay away from that place.
Yeah, me too, but that's the one that understands. Otherwise, it's sweetened or unsweetened. That's how you have to order it here.
Oh, okay.
Order. That's how you have to order it here.
What
Yeah.
order?
How do
Order.
you call it iced tea? Iced tea is automatically sweetened in Canada. Like you would have to go out of your way to find non-sweetened, which we call iced tea, because it's usually cooler, usually, right? And then it would be sweetened. So it's just funny how like the technicalities, we're all talking about the same
Okay.
thing. Nobody knows what
And
they're
and
talking
and
about.
and the other thing that came up was just the regional differences, right? Because we're acting with people from the Bronx.
Oh yeah.
And you know how you know their attitude?
Rats.
And the one from Chicago's like, why is this person talking to me this way? And I'm like, they're from the Bronx. And if you're not from the Bronx and you don't know anybody from New York, you're not gonna get their directness because everything's a joke, but it's just the attitude, the flair of the delivery of certain jokes. And it's like, oh, this is funny. And and then of course they're like, oh, you're Canadian, you're just weird. And I've got certain lines, and they're like, why do you say certain things three times? And I'm like, because I'm trying, I'm in front of my audience, I'm grabbing attention. I've been trained when you do an intro, like, hello, you say it three times to see who is paying attention because you're demanding attention, and they just love it. So they're like yo yo yo. They just make it. I'm like, it's great. At least I've imparted some wisdom on you, and you know how to get into a room, wake up the audience, and then you have to still deliver and command the attention.
Right.
But I know we're getting into the end of class, and we've been talking about using vidIQ. We're starting to get used to using vidIQ for inspiration for descriptions, or titles, descriptions, thumbnail, tags, and here's some more. We watched this video this week and we're like, this is perfect for the
Yeah,
class. So
yeah, this isn't specifically about
no,
vidIQ, but this is about why we fail at YouTube and what will make us successful. So it's very much in alignment with what we've been talking about, and I thought it was a great way to kind of like take another person's perspective besides Mike and myself. So I'm going to pause the recording here because I won't be able to post this with playing this live. But if you are watching the recording, I will put the link in the description box. And you'll see here it is with the vidIQ, their YouTube. We failed at YouTube until we did this, and that is what it's called. So I'm going to pause, go over in a different way what we've been kind of talking about, give you something to think about what, that the fact of going this YouTube way, just not, getting past the struggles. Struggles is normal when we're going through anything because you got to do that 10,000 hours. So I will put that link when I post it and I'll share it in the group. So if you do want to watch it again, you're totally welcome to. And then I'll pass it on to Mike to close up, I guess, here.
yeah. Well, thank you everyone. Thank you to everyone for showing up. I know it's a challenge on Saturdays, but that's exactly why I picked this day, this time, because I know you needed to kickstart your Saturday. And yeah, we're just gonna keep sharing our experiences with you as it took us a while to become monetized YouTubers because we needed to be consistent, and then consistency, it's video. Like if you go look at anybody's content, if they've got hundreds of videos, they've been consistent with it and they're just trying, but if they don't have mentors, it takes a lot longer to get to that 10,000 hours. Like your results are going to be much different if you have a mentor versus not having a mentor. And I've had so many business coaches and mentors, and I'm like, oh wait, I need one for this aspect of my life and one for this other aspect of my life because everyone's got different experiences, and you need help from people who've achieved it, right? And this is why I like putting myself in rooms with professional camera guys because one of the camera guys we've been hanging out with for 3 years, he's a funny guy. He's like approachable. Um, and I could see what he was learning. I'm on the outside. I could see what he was learning. So it's like, hey, we've been using this guy for 3 years. And he was learning stuff from the other because I didn't realize I'm not a big camera nerd. and these guys are complete camera nerds, but they know what type of camera they have to use in order to get a show onto any of the networks. But camera guys been using cameras for decades, right? So even the camera, the main camera we use is like 14 years old, but it's state of the art. And it's a little bit used, so it's a little bit cheaper to rent. But that renting that camera came with a professional director and where we didn't have that before. And we're like, oh hey, we lucked out. I told our director we needed to rent more cameras and get all the equipment we needed because I knew the camera guys would nerd out with each other and be teaching each other and instructing each other. And that's what we needed to witness over the last 5 days of filming is everybody growing in their skill sets. Because no air conditioning versus air conditioning, household lights versus professional lights. And we brought all this gear with us, and everything worked in a pinch because somebody had a piece of gear somebody else didn't have. And everybody learned, it's like everybody was learning new skills, right? Because they didn't have the same experience as the next person.
Well, and
So,
that's come from the practice over the years, right? So that's like the growth of that industry with the entertainment company, right?
because even looking at the when you're looking at the monitor on a camera, right? Because you're not looking at the camera, you're looking at what is being outputted to the monitor. And you can just see, they were trying to match colors and ISOs and recording speeds. They're trying to match all that, but each camera is different and each camera is going to put a different sort of output. But you're reviewing it and you're like, okay, like now like the mouse wheel in my brain is just clicking. But I needed to hang out with some professional camera guys for a week to say, okay, this is how we can, take that wisdom and impart it on you when you start recording your stuff and uploading it, right? And how to frame certain things. But those are advanced features. We need you to write ideas first, get recording, and then we'll coach you along the way. So I hope you all have a great Saturday, and we'll look forward to sharing our journey this week with you. We'll make sure we go update the Facebook group this week. We won't slack on it. And have a great weekend. Does anybody have any final questions?
Oh.
Perfect. Well, thank you for showing up, and you have a great weekend. And we'll see you next Saturday, same place, same time. See you then.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.